It's the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Welcome to another episode here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. It is our mission to try to bring you some news you could use. Today is no exception to that rule. Follow me on X at the Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Do visit the website for our 24-hour stream at obnradio.com. And with all that being established, let us jump right into today's episode. Well, the reset button has been set, and the Panthers were getting ready to take on the FAMU Rattlers from Tallahassee this coming weekend. Rattlers coming off of a win over Texas Southern this past weekend. They have now won 5 games in a row and looking to make it 6 when the Panthers come in town. But with the resurgent Panthers, hopefully the stage will be set for the Panthers to not only go on the road with authority, but come back with the win and what some would definitely have to call an upset. But time will tell. The Houston Christian game is way behind us, and it's nothing but forward, moving, and targeting for the FAMU Rattlers. The Panthers right now are in the number 3 slot behind Southern University and Alcorn. And all they have to do is just make sure that they're taking care of the business at hand before they could be the last man standing from the West. Alcorn coming off a big win over Pine Bluff with a score of 31-7. So they're positioning themselves for the final stretches of the Western title. Meanwhile, the Southern Jags, they took care of business against Bethune-Cookman this past weekend. Now they'll get ready to host the Texas Southern Tigers. And we cannot forget about the Grambling State Tigers. They'll be taking on Bethune-Cookman this weekend from home. So we still got a lot to be sorted out from the west side of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. However, on the eastern side, things are just about signed, sealed, and delivered as long as FAMU stays on the path. Jackson State, they are in second place, and as far as my hunch of a potential upset, that theory was blown out of the water. They took care of Mississippi Valley by the score of 21-6 this past weekend. Meanwhile, Alabama A&M and Alabama State had bye weeks as they get ready for the Magic City Classic this week to somewhat determine how that east side will be settled. But as we mentioned, for the most part, it is all FAMU's to lose. We know that football gets the front seat in the fall sports, but you got some very heated soccer and volleyball standing up for right now throughout the Southwestern Athletic Conference. We'll go to soccer first. The top seed in soccer, Grambling State, having a phenomenal year. They are undefeated as we speak. The Prairie View A&M University Panthers, under Abe Garcia 2.0 leadership, they are in the number 6 spot when it comes to soccer. When we look at the volleyball standings, Alabama State sitting on top at that number 1 seed, and Prairie View under first-year coach Cherie Lindsay in the number 2 spot for the Southwestern Athletic Conference volleyball standings. And you've got to be impressed with the quick turnaround that Coach Lindsay has injected to the Prairie View volleyball program. And believe it or not, the volleyball championship will be held on the campus for Prairie View this season, as well as soccer for 2023 campaign. Of course, the Panthers will be on the road in football this weekend to take on FAMU, and everyone anticipating homecoming November 4th against University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. And speaking of homecoming, couldn't help but hear Tennessee State head football coach Eddie George questioning if Tennessee State football fans enjoy football as much as they profess because of the lack of attendance. And it seems to be an epidemic going throughout the HBCU land, maybe FCS land, But the lack of attendance is a big concern, not only for some coaches, but for some players and for some supporters. And I think part of the challenge is we have to embrace the level and attention that is drawn to the HBCU level and get away from such massive stadiums that we're playing our games in, which is a very bad look, especially when we're talking about putting these games on television. You could be in a professional stadium which seats anywhere between 50 and 70,000 people and have 30,000 people in the place, but it still looks bad when it comes to the image from the TV broadcast and from fan support. And it's mighty obvious when people leave early or whatnot. And you could say the same case for a smaller venue. But with a smaller venue, you have that coziness and the comfortness and the intimacy of that fan interaction, which can add to some momentum, especially on third down situations in the case of football. So it's something that's still going to have to be hashed out and figured out on how you can come with this balance. We had a conversation a couple of weeks ago speaking in behalf of Prairie View's case from the data that we've been retrieving, that there are 33 females to every one male on the campus for your student body. Well, when you look at those type of dynamics, you could see how some of the attendance is a challenge. Not saying that women aren't fans, but they are a different type of fan base than that of a male fan base. So in order to attract that female audience, maybe you have to start coming up with some themes that can be focused, that would be of an interest for a female support base. It's a lot of things that we need to, as I say, dig a little deeper and find out how we can rectify this national challenge. Last week we made mention that the Olympic Committee has allowed flag football to be introduced for 2024. And doing a little brief survey, we asked you guys, do you believe that this will be a sport that would take off? And surprisingly, 67% of you said no to the little poll that we had taken. And it was intriguing for me to say that a lot of people are under the impression that the Olympic sports are becoming too watered down. There's so many sports that are being allowed to be played on the Olympic level, and that is possibly why they feel like it wouldn't succeed. Also want to remind you guys that you can join Ben, Jack, and myself for the Yeah, I Said It episode, and we'll probably start featuring that for our Zone Saturday release. But to bring you up to speed, we are going to be having a contest. We're going to give away 2 sets of tickets for Homecoming 2023. And all we need you guys to do is dial into the message center, 720-721-1558. And just tell your story on why you should be the one to get the 2 tickets. Got 2 sets of 2. That number again, 720-721-1558. So we'll be taking calls and we'll be coming up with a draw next week. So we'll be able to get this all together. We'll have that draw available that Monday leading into Homecoming. The number again is 720-721-1558. We want to thank our listeners across our various platforms for your participation, encouragement, and feedback on the episodes. We are truly, truly thankful that anyone is willing to hear what we have to say. It's a labor of love for us here from the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and we'll continue to keep on pushing forward and doing all we can while we can. I want to remind you guys that you can follow me on X at The Mike Prince Show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Hit the bell notification. That way you'll be notified every time there's something released on the YouTube channel. And don't forget, we have a 24-hour stream available on our website at obnradio.com. My time has come where I must exit stage left. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Thank you guys so much. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.